Ashish and I'm representing IMED. Let me walk you through some of the problems that we have seen in the market. Some stats for you there. In India, there are roughly few thousand pharmaceutical companies who create new drugs as well as branded generics. The number of medicines, roughly 5.5 million to 1 million somewhere. There is no way for anybody to predict in India how many branded medicines and total new medicines are there in the market. Roughly 1 million pharmaceutical stockists. First of all, it is very difficult to really quantify how many of them are pure stockists. Below them, below the stockists, there are roughly 3 million retail chemists in India that operate, which of course serves 1.28 billion of us. So if you see the pyramid, one big problem that you can see is from few thousand pharmaceutical companies serving to 1.2 billion people, there is no clear visibility into the stock movement of where the drugs are headed to after the CNF agents, right? That is a big problem for any pharmaceutical company. On top of it, that problem really multiplies many folds when you see that stat, which is roughly 6,000 medicines that are launched in India every month. These are not new medicines, by the way. New medicines will be very few of them. We did a survey and we looked at, what all challenges people face because of this huge pyramid structure there. We felt that less than 50% of retail chemists in India today use IT infrastructure, as in pharmacy management system. Out of those who have paid for a license of a pharmacy management system, less than 20% of them use all the features of these applications. More than 10% prescription bounce happens on an average, across markets. What that means is you take a prescription to a pharmacy and he doesn't know what this drug is all about, right? So he doesn't know which salt it is. Sometimes they know by the name of it, but mostly prescription bounce happen because of that. And there is an estimated cost of 1,400 crores average cost of medicine expiry for pharmaceutical company per annum. So a lot of these problems we felt happens because one, there is no integration between these stakeholders, and primarily because at the bottom of the pyramid where the retail pharmacists are, they can't use this system because of the too heavy load of data entry on them. So if you go to any normal pharmacy today, you would see roughly 2,000 to 3,000 medicines is what they keep in their stock, right? Entering the data of all that medicine, managing expiry, etc. becomes a really mammoth task for them, which creates the main problem. So how do we solve that problem? This is the problem that we are trying to solve. We fix the information flow between the pharmaceutical supply chain. How do we solve that problem? In 3 different ways. First, we try to integrate all the stakeholders. I'll show you how we integrate. By all the stakeholders, I mean from the retail consumers, which is not really our immediate focus, but from retail consumers to chemists, to stockists, to pharmaceutical company, and to the manufacturer. Second, we don't want to focus on the software license, which is a complete shift from the strategy of pharmaceutical business, software market today. Most of these companies who sell pharmacy management system, their business model is focused on software license. We don't want to focus, we want to focus on data. And the third one, our cost of software is very low. So how do we solve that problem? This is our web app, which is currently live. We are subscribing roughly 30 to 40 pharmacies every month today. What do we offer? Very simple solution. On your mobile phone, you can download our application. You can search a medicine. We can tell you what medicine it is, what salt it is, some information around that medicine. We can tell you the alternatives of that medicine, and we can tell you the price difference. So, you have a brand prescription, brand medicine, you can find out much cheaper cost, much cheaper medicine there, which is a very useful thing for a consumer. The second part of it, where we show based on your phone's geolocation, we can tell you which is the closest distributor or the retailer which can provide you this medicine. So we are trying to primarily address the supply chain integration from retailer upwards. Let's see how. There are multiple use cases that we solve, but I'll bring your focus to 2 or 3 main use cases. The first use case is handling medicine expiry. When a medicine expires, it is required for the pharmacist or the distributor to return that medicine back to the pharmaceutical company to get the credit back. Okay, very difficult to keep track of pharmacy drug expiry unless until they do all 3,000 data entry every day. Every time they buy medicine from distributors. That is the process we automate today. So they can, on our app, they can simply scan the invoice that they get from distributor, send it to us. We have automated a process where the invoice and the lot number of medicine immediately gets integrated, and then a pharmacist can get a notification on his phone when is the drug expiry. That's one use case. Second use case, you would already guessed, you can find a substitution, and so substitution, which is also useful for retail consumers. He can find a substitute. So sometimes you go, he doesn't have that medicine. He can find a substitute medicine. For that time being, he can give it to you. Next, what he wants to do is place an order to the nearby distributor. So again, give me the medicine tomorrow morning. So a retailer can really place the order from here to the distributor. This is a very important case for us. This is another use case that we solve about drug recall, banned drugs, patient follow-up and patient information, drug controller. So, with the sheer number of medicines, generics being launched, it is very difficult to track and flow that information back to pharmacies and consumers, which lot is expiring, which lot is banned, which lot was faulty, etc. With this simple solution, we can reach out to as many pharmacies as possible. So today, if you look at any large-scale distributor, serves at least 2,000 to 3,000 chemists, which is a very big problem. They maintain an inbound and outbound call center and booking agents, etc. With IMED, because they can accept orders, we believe that we can cut their costs down by 60%, which means that they can pass on that cost to the retailer, and eventually, it can get translated into better discount and better cost for the retail and consumers. Our core is the largest medicine database that we have today, and on top of it, we're trying to build different types of models. Once we propagate in the market, we can tell Sun Pharmaceutical that, near IIT Delhi area or near this area, 300 medicines or 5 of your brands are about to expire in next 3 months time. So please ramp up your sales operation in that area. So better sales planning from them. As of now, I've not seen anybody addressing this market, and therefore we are quite confident that this can give us a huge entry into this segment. Look at the data analytics that we can offer to the pharmaceutical companies. So our main customers are 3 retail pharmacists, distributors, and pharmaceutical companies who can use our data to better plan sales operations, etc.
One other opportunity for you to think of would be like, you get these hotel.com or kayak.com, where if a hotel is, has extra inventory, instead of letting the room go waste, or an airline, instead of letting a seat go waste, he'll sell it for a substantial discount.
Yeah,
so in the same way, there might be an opportunity for you to do that.
So if you look at the product, at the core of it, huge drug database and the information about what is expiring when, there are huge amount of possibilities around.
Even retail chains, they follow something like 5 to 10% of pilferage,
yes,
which can easily be saved by such a mechanism. So have you given a thought about that?
I have. We are opening our database in very short amount of time for anybody to use. So, for example, your product, you can connect to our server, and your doctor writing a prescription can get a real-time pharmacology information. What we do is much more intelligent pharmacology. So from the information, we are very confident that we have a spot on your cell phone. The moment we have a spot on your cell phone, it can scale. Thank you very much.